Hello everyone. In this video I'll be going over the basics of the card game of Euchre for those of you that wish to learn or just to brush up on your Euchre skills. First we'll start with what cards you require for the game. So you require all the 9s, the 10s, the jacks, the queens, the kings, and the aces from the deck. Next we have the rank for the value of the cards. The 9s would be the lowest, then the 10s, then the queen, then the king, then the ace, and then the jokers, but only for the suit that is trump and its corresponding fellow suit. So if hearts were trump, then the jack of diamonds would also be considered a trump. It would be considered the right bower and then the left bower. Now I'm going to explain how you would count the points when you're scoring. There are two cards that you use. Some people want to use 2 5s to count their points, and some people will use the 2 and the 3 to count their points. And I'll demonstrate how that works. So this would be considered 0 points. That would be 1 point. That would be 2 points. That would be 3 points. That is 4 points. That would be 5 points. That would be 6 points. 7 points. 8 points. 9 points. And then finally it would be game. Now I'm going to simulate as if I was the person to my right and deal the cards. You deal 1 card at a time to each player for a total of 5 cards each. And the last card that's left in the deck, you flip over, and that is what each person bids on. So now looking at what this person has, they would look at their cards and decide whether they wanted to tell the dealer to pick up the trump card or to let it pass. If they tell the dealer to pick up the trump card, the dealer picks up the card and discards of something, but not trump, because you want to keep that because it's the more valuable cards. In this case, they only have 1 trump and only 1 ace, so not very strong hand. They would just pass. Now, the next person, they are technically the partner of the dealer. So they would look at the cards and say, this is actually not bad. I actually have 3 trump. They're not necessarily the highest trump because there's still 2 bowers that are unknown out there, but it's a decent set of cards. And depending on the type of game you're playing, if the partner tells the dealer to pick up, it either means that you play alone, or they have to specify they want to play alone or with the partner. Usually, more advanced euchre players, it's automatically if the person opposite the dealer tells them to pick up the card, they play alone. So in this case, knowing that rule, and I like to play by that rule, so they would pass given that you don't know where the 2 bowers are and there's still a chance that they could lose. So we look at this individual card, and they may have the right bower, but they only have 1 ace. They would need to rely on their partner to take another trick, or 2 even, to succeed. So they would likely pass. And when you get to the dealer themselves, again, they have low cards. They do have the left bower, but the rules state you actually need to have a proper trump to be able to pick up the trump card. And since they have the left bower, it's not considered proper trump until it becomes the suit of trump. So they would need to pass. And in this case, if everyone passes, it gets turned down. And then the person to the left of the dealer gets to decide if they wish to make it a different suit. So they would look at their cards, and in this case, they actually have fairly decent cards for going hearts, because they have the left bower and the next two cards up after that. So the only one that's higher than that is the right bower. So they would end up saying hearts. And because they are to the left of the dealer, they actually get to play first. So what they would likely do is to try and draw out the right bower, hoping that either their partner will take it or their opponent wastes it. And in this case, they have to follow suit, so they end up playing the right bower. And each individual must follow suit if they have it. So the individual to the left, or the individual across from the dealer, ended up taking that trick, and it is now their lead. So what they'll lead would likely be the ace, and hope that everyone has that so they can take another trick. And in this case, they would succeed in taking that trick. They get to go again, so they'd play a different card, hoping they would take another trick. This individual would throw a low card. They don't have that suit. This individual doesn't have that suit, so they are actually able to now take the trick. And now it's their lead again. So they would lead the trump, hoping to take out anything else that's out there. And then they take that trick. And now they lead the last set of cards they have. And their partner, thankfully, has the ace and saves them. So they actually got 3 tricks and therefore score 1 point. Now the play shifts over. So the person that was to the left of the dealer is now the new dealer. And I hope it's obvious that I'm only playing with the cards face up, so you can actually see how everything works out. In actual gameplay, the cards will not be face up. So again, the person to the left of the dealer looks at their cards. In this case, they'll pass. The person across from the dealer would look at their cards. And in this case, they actually have quite a strong hand. Their only low card is in the same suit as at least having an ace, and they have 3 trump. And they would likely tell their partner to pick up, even though they would probably be playing alone, hoping that the left bower, since they have the right, and possibly the ace, would go down with it. So in this case, they would say pick it up to the partner. The partner then is out, and it is the lead of the person to the left of the dealer. So they play that card. This individual would play this card, hoping that they can then steal it. And in this case, it worked because this person has to follow suit. So they then take that trick. They then play the high trump, hoping they're going to take out any other trump that's risking to them. So they've taken 2 tricks. They now play their ace. They've taken 3 tricks. Now they have to choose if they play their last trump or the 10. They've already got their point, but they're hoping that they might be able to get all 5 tricks and get 4 points for this. So they'll attempt with the high trump. In this case, they know they didn't have any trump out there, and now the last card. And in this case, they ended up getting all 5 tricks, which they then will get 4 points. And now it continues on to the next round. So again, the dealer shifts to the left, and this will continue until one group or one team or the other has 10 points, and then that will be the game. And then you can start a new game, and so on and so forth. There are actual different tricks that you can do that people learn on how to indicate what cards they might have in their hand to their partner. This is not considered cheating, as you're not actually speaking aloud what you have. It's more on just the cards you play that kind of indicate what you have to your partner. So again, we look at the cards. The person would pass. This person would look at their cards, and again, they would pass. Then you have the next player who would pass as well. And finally, the dealer. Look at their hand. It's not the best hand, but they might try it because they might risk and hope their partner is able to get it. Partly because they don't want to give the person to their left the chance to make the suit, and also have the lead, which more often than not will give them a winning round. So they'll play that. This individual would play that. They have to follow suit. And this person has to follow suit as well. That means the dealer's partner took the trick. And now they would lead their lone ace. They would follow suit. Dealer has to follow suit. And the person to the left does not have any, so they are actually able to trump that and taking 1 trick. This now means that there's no possibility for the dealer and his partner to get all 5 tricks, so therefore they can only get 1 point at most, but they could also still be euchred. And even though the partner took that, they only have trump left, so they would take that trick. See if there's any more out there. There's not, so they play their last card, and they've effectively already got their point because they've got 3 out of the 4 tricks. So the last one is not necessary to play through, as 1 trick was already taken from them. So now we'll play one more round from the last person's point of view. Euchre games can get quite intense. Some euchre players are very competitive, but there's no need to be scared off, as even though they're a little competitive, they're also fair and honest for the most part. So, person to the left of the dealer would pass. The next person who's across from the dealer would pass. Now, this one's actually a little challenging because they have the left bower, the ace, and the king. So they're guaranteed 2 tricks for sure, and they have an ace. So they might be hesitant to tell the dealer to pick it up, given that is the right bower. It's not really the best plan, but considering the cards they have, they would likely take the risk. So in this case, they would tell the dealer to pick up and not give the dealer a chance to decide. And the other thing is, it's actually this person's partner who gets to lead the first card, so that they're hoping something decent is led that will get them a point. And in this case, they've actually managed to get the point because everyone had to follow suit. So now it doesn't really matter what this person leads from trump. They're going to want to play it and see if the right bower is out there. But since the only thing higher than these 3 cards is the right bower, they effectively can play any one of them. It wouldn't make any difference to them. Now it is the original dealer's lead. And they've managed to take 2 tricks now. Unfortunately, they don't have high enough to get enough to euchre the person that made the suit.